I'm Tandy. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be playing some Mono Black Scam. This is a deck centered around Grief that most of you are familiar with. Grief. If you played Modern, you've probably played against the old turn 1 double Grief you with Not Dead After All. We're doing this in a Mono Black deck, but we're trying out a few new cards alongside it. A previous build of mine, we had 4 copies of Flare of Malice and 3 copies of Winter Moon in the main deck. The Flare of Malice being a way to sacrifice Grief for value without needing Not Dead After All. And I think that the Flare of Malice as a card is great. I'm concerned that we don't have enough creatures for it. Since it specifically says non-token, the Orcish Bowmaster token can't be sacked. You have to sack the Bowmaster itself. But what I hope to do is Not Dead After All my creature, like a Dothy Voidwalker, and then Flare of Malice and sacrifice it. And I hope that it gets some value that way. I also think casting it for 4, not great, but not that bad. This whole deck is kind of designed to just empty its hand over the course of like a short period of time, and then using the One Ring to refuel. And we're pairing the One Ring with Shoulder of the Apocalypse in order to generate enough raw resources and make sure that the ring doesn't kill us. Shoulder is just an excellent card. You know, works obviously well with the One Ring, but also just a great finisher on its own. Punishes people who draw a bunch of cards with things like Preordain. My hope is that this deck is able to play very similarly to Rakdos-Scam, but instead of having the problems of Rakdos-Scam where you kind of just peter out at the end of the game, I would like to have a late game that does something. And I think the One Ring is like a perfect bridge for using a bunch of early disruption. It's just such a powerful card advantage engine. Now, with that said, there is a new card called Necrodominance, and Necrodominance does something very similar to the Ring and does it in faster bursts, but requires you to play a much lower curve. And I'm not certain that that's where I want to be just yet. I've also been considering Caustic Bronco for the deck, if anyone cares. Yeah, and also there's a new Tendrils of Agony that costs 2 for Modern Horizons 3 that I don't have in the deck, but I think could be good, and I'm definitely looking to maybe try that out over March of Wretched Sorrow. But March being able to gain a bunch of life for cheap with One Ring and discarding some extra dead cards in some matchups, I think it's going to be pretty solid. Our mana base, we're trying out 2 Phyrexian Tower. This is a land that we can use alongside Grief to sacrifice to cast a 2-drop on turn number 2. I'm hoping that that comes up and it's good. Our sideboard, we have 3 copies of Pick Your Poison as our only green card. Since we have fetch lands to turn on Fatal Push and Troll of Khazad-dûn to go get Underground Mortuary, I figured having a couple green sources for Pick Your Poison wouldn't be too bad. And I like having the Surveillance in general. I think that they're excellent. We're also trying a brand new card, Disruptor Flute. Disruptor Flute, when it comes into play, you name a card. And then the spell of that name costs 3 more to cast, and the abilities of that card cannot be used. So it's kind of like a combo of Pith and Needle and forces it to cost extra. It's going to be good against some combo decks, okay against some Planeswalkers. It also has Flash. So if your opponent like taps out for Teferi Time Raveler, you can cast Disruptor Flute and name Teferi Time Raveler, and it locks the ability down before they can activate it. And that's kind of where I'm at with Disruptor Flute. 2 copies of Toxic Deluge, a nice reprint into Modern. Great sweeper for just 3 mana that we can kind of control a little bit. 4 Leyline of the Void for graveyard-based decks. I don't know that there's too many of those that exist in Modern, but it felt like a card that worked really nicely in this deck, and there might be some graveyard-related shenanigans from Modern Horizons 3, so I thought it would be an okay choice for the board since it's so cheap. And then lastly, the new card, Winter Moon. This is a card that I'm hoping to really disrupt the mana bases of the 4 and 5 color Leyline binding decks. And my testing so far, it's been rather lackluster. I had it in the main deck, and I saw that someone else had it in the main deck of the most recent Star City Games 5K, where they made top 8. But ultimately, I played a couple matches before this league, and it wasn't very good. So I put it in the sideboard, and I'm hoping that it shows up in the sideboard against those control decks that have, 10, 11 land drops by the end of the game, and all of them are dual lands, tri-lands. This is Winter Scam. It was called Winter Scam when I had Winter Moon main deck. It's just Mono Black Scam. We got some new cards. We're trying them out. It's Modern Horizons 3 day. Let's get to the league. And only 1 land. We'll keep this one. And I think I'll put back Flare of Malice because we don't have any combos with it right now. And we'll save the Void Walker. Or we'll go for a later Thoughtseize so we can get Void Walker down next turn. Cycle the Troll. Well, I wish I had kept all those Fatal Pushers, chats. Playing against probably Burn because they're not playing blue. We could have gone for like Thoughtseize and then Wretched Sorrow this. Eidolon O the Great Revel. All right, we're going to march the Eidolon. And I'm going to pitch the Thoughtseize. And this is going to get us over the hump of the Eidolon so we don't take damage. And gain us some life. And then if they kill the Voidwalker, that's fine. We're not really trying to cast their stuff too often. Amped Raptor, that's a great card for their deck. Searing Blaze enter the battlefield. Oh, they hit it off the Wood of Hills too. That's brutal. Amped Raptor is a sicko. I guess I just can't play creatures against them. Early creatures anyway. Alright, if we draw the land, we'll play the One Ring and start trying to get that going. Guess we'll just kill this thing. Maybe I should cast Voidwalker to gain more life, but I do want to have something to play next turn if we don't kill it. Or if we don't draw the land for the One Ring, I want to be able to play something. No, fetching here is weird when they have what's called in their deck, but maybe they just don't care because they're using all their mana this turn for like double Boros Charm or whatever. Amped Raptor number 2, Flare of Duplication. This should not be in their deck. That should not be in your deck. Just play more Lava Spikes. Just play more Lava Spikes and you'll win more games. Don't play Flare of Duplication. Alright, land. Alright, we'll just say go, and we can't block, obviously, but if they pump their Swiss Beer above a 2, we'll kill it. Otherwise, we'll just kill the Raptor. And I think waiting is fine, even though they can give protection with the Boros Charm. Not really something I'm too worried about. We can't block, so do your thing. Boros Charm. So we're going to 8. So we're going to at least 6 if we kill one. And Skullcrack. Okay, so let's just kill the Swiss Beer. We'll go to 3. And if we draw a land, we can Searing Blaze and play One Ring. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card, and then we just have to hope we draw Sheoldred in like 4 draws. If I draw Sheoldred next turn, we can survive, but we're going to go to 1. And they can just draw a Burn Spell and kill me on upkeep anyway, so I basically just have to draw Sheoldred as my next draw, and them have nothing. They hit it. Brutal. All right. Tough matchup. It's all 2 mana burn spells. We will... I don't think we want to Winter Moon them. They are very low to the ground. I don't think Disruptor Flute's very good either. Pick your poison. Stops Eidolon. Deluge is too rough. I think I'll just keep it as is. I think our deck's fine against them. We just need to draw Sheoldred. If we draw Sheoldred, I think we can have some fun. Ideally, we would have some more like cheap removal in the sideboard to bring in here, but we're trying out too many new cards, and think it's hurting us. Plus, I'm not even sure Leyline of the Void is good or necessary. I will keep this one since we have push into Apocalypse Wandering. We'll hold up Fatal Push for the turn 1 Swift Spear. And then we'll play Mortuary on 2 if we don't draw 2-drop. Alright, Goblin Guide's a nice one for us. Let's see if we get a land off of it. Top card's another Fatal Push. We'll just kill this one, hold up Fatal Push. Third Fatal Push. I think I'm going to bottom this one since we have one in hand. I don't think that it's like a horrible thing to keep, but sometimes they just have draws that aren't very creature dense. And you're having too much removal is like pretty scary and bad. Alright, I guess we'll just see what they hit. They hit Goblin Guide. Okay. Well, I guess I wish I had kept the Fatal Push now. Maybe I should just always keep it because this version has Amped Raptor. Well, that's not one that I really want either. But I think we're doing okay. I think the Tendrils of Corruption card is something we could sideboard a bunch of, and maybe even main deck a few. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a new like black deal damage equal to what you call it, swamps you control, and I think that card could be great in this style of deck. Probably better than March Voidwalker. We definitely don't want Voidwalker, so we'll take 5. Yes, Consuming Corruption. I just, every time that happens, I just think that I'm getting cheated by Magic Online. Because I know that it's happened before, Let's play the One Ring. We get the protection. They bolt me, that's fine. I think I will draw a card and hope I don't get 11'd on my upkeep. They only have 2 cards in hand, though, so it's going to be pretty difficult. Alright, so I'm going to do something a little wonky here. I want to get Grief going. So I'm going to play another ring here before I play Shieldred, so that I can go Grief before Shieldred to get rid of like a Skullcrack type stuff. Yeah, Boros Charm. Play this tapped, and I'll say go. Alright, so I can die from 7. They're probably going to pop this Fire Islet. Now the question is, do I go to 6? I think the answer is yes. Is that bad? How likely am I to die here, no matter what I do? I guess I have to have Boros Charm Bolt. Alright, we'll just go to draw. Alright, so we're going to play the Shieldred, and if they Skullcrack us in response, that's fine. I'm going to go Grief, pitch, Grief. And then in response to anything they do, I'll draw a card and gain 2. Okay, so we'll take Searing Blaze, and then this should be good enough. We should not lose from here. They should have played their Canyon. I don't know if they failed to play a land or what. Here we go. Another shoulder makes me feel good, but mostly the Shieldred One Ring engine is just really hard for decks like theirs to beat. Rolling Vortex, so they can't do that this turn. Alright, so we'll take the 1, then we'll draw 2 and gain 4. They have 1 card in hand. Let's smash with both. Then I can just cycle Troll, play land, cast Grief, hold up Not Dead. They can double block this and trade both. I'll just Not Dead. Alright, cycle Troll, go get Swamp, play Swamp, hard cast Grief. And now they can do the we don't want to pitch with Vortex, obviously, but I Sunbaked, here we go. And now they can keep us from gaining life with Vortex, so we'll take 2 next turn. But they should be dead to what I have in play. I don't know what it would take for me to lose this game, but it would have to be a couple of different things go horribly wrong for me. Alright, I think we're still fine. March of Regisaur cannot be better than that Tendrils card. Consuming Corruption. Mason, how did you suggest Black March instead of frickin' your new card? Come on. Come on, Mason. Keep, but I don't love it. I think I'm gonna be too slow. Oh, they didn't play a 1-drop, chat? Oh, did I double F6 on accident? Okay, good. The fact that this doesn't tap for black on its own is a bummer. I guess I have to reconsider how I'm building my deck because of it. I thought it would be cool to like pitch Grief and then sack Grief with the trigger on the stack, but that has just not happened yet in 3 matches. But that's not very many matches, so. Eidolon. Okay, so we'll go Grief. Maybe we wait. We don't have to flare. We can go Grief pitch. Shieldred. See what they have. Vortex, Boris Charm. I guess we just take Vortex and just soak up whatever they got going on over there. Alright, so we'll Fate to push this and then play Voidwalker. Then they just have 2 burn spells with me at a reasonable amount of life. Neither burn spell kills Voidwalker. I can't actually even cast second Voidwalker next turn, but if I draw a land, I can cast Shieldred. Goblin Guide. See if this is a land or not. The Bowmaster. Alright, we'll just take the 2. I want to be able to race, and we can cast Bowmaster Flare if we need to. You can also just go for like a Bowmaster block next turn. I gotta be mindful of Flare. Flare's a weird card, but it's cool. I just don't know where it needs to be exactly. So I know that they have Skullcrack in hand. They know I have Bowmaster. Okay, so we know that their last card is Skullcrack. My top card is the One Ring. Alright, we're going to clear their board. Alright, so we'll go... Guess we'll just take the 2. I can wait till damage and then flare, but then I should just wait anyway, right? It's a Prodigy. So we know they have Skullcrack in hand. Our Dexterine yet? Well, so far we've only played the one, and it's been mid. That's okay. I will give him one more chance to give us a land, I suppose. So casting Eidolon here. I don't plan... This is kind of scary. I think if I draw the land or not... This is interesting. They're pretty low on life. I think I'm going to bottleneck them. I think I'm going to stick them with their Eidolon where they won't be able to win the game against me very easily because they'll be taking too much damage. And I can Boros Charm them as well. Never drawing another land here is brutal. I'm getting a bunch of follows today, chat, and I'm sorry I'm not seeing them. I apologize. Amped Raptor, so they're going to go pretty low on life here to cast all this stuff. They find Lava Spike. That puts me to 5. Oh, man. So I have to draw Shieldred to kill them? Or sorry, I have to draw a... So they have Skullcrack in hand. So we just have to go to... I don't think that this works. I think we're dead. I guess we just hope they make a mistake. We didn't draw anything that we could do to get out of it, and we didn't draw the land for the Shieldred. Monobike's gonna be bonkers? Maybe. Alright, well, we died. Unfortunate. Raptors bad and burn? I disagree. Is you another Boros Charm? Unfortunately, by casting something off of the Voidwalker, I die, so... Wooded Foothills, fetch quick. What's the one drop? Blood Crypt. Is it just Thoughtseize or Ragavan? Thoughtseize. Alright, let's roll away Troll. I kind of just want to go get another Mortuary. So we're not going to really play Bowmaster next turn. We'll just Mortuary twice. That's fine. They're going to take Shieldred. Maybe Bowmaster, but probably Shieldred. Ooh. Got immediately punished. We'll keep the 4th land so we can just carve naturally into Shio. We still have Fatal Push open as well. We can also play Voidwalker with Not Dead After All mana up next turn. Maybe that's something we can do. Is this Ren Instincts? Oh, am I getting clowned? I mean, I'm just talking about our Discord, man. I'm sorry. Culver's Crispy. I don't give a shit where you post it. I just want to see your brew, man. You're getting clowned by Ren Instincts. Chat, save me. I'm lagging. Alright, well, we can't keep this Ren from getting this land back, but it'll prevent future lands from being able to be gotten back. Looks like they're probably playing the creativity deck, be my guess. And remember, they did mulligan to 5. Red for Ragavan. Okay, so they're playing Jun's stuff. Just gonna kill it. I don't want them getting a card off the top of my deck. Now they can have a kill spell for this Voidwalker, that's fine. Alright, so we can cast Ragavan, which is bad against the Ren. I think I'll just go for attack for Ren for 3. Man, I guess getting the second Mortuary was horrible. But it did make sure that I hit another land drop, which I did want. But the second one does have some significant downside. We'll keep the Grief on top. Alright, so no targets now for Ren. Raucous Theater's the fine. Tarmogoyf, sure. Shadow Spear. Okay, 2 cards left in hand. I don't think we know either of them. They know I have a Not Dead after all. So we're going to send at Ren, and if they go for a kill spell on Voidwalker, I don't know if I save it or not. I probably do. Oh, we should have Grief first. I guess no, we Grief if we can't play the Sheoldred. Okay, so they just let it happen. I'm going to play Sheoldred. If it dies to something, I think that's okay, because we still have Dothy. And we're at 19, so even a big Tarmogoyf's not that scary. I wouldn't even mind trading Sheoldred for a big Tarmogoyf. I don't know that I need to, but I could. Balloon, I'm sorry that's not working. I think my bot's messed up. Give me a moment. I'll see if I can fix it. Alright, Shadowsphere suits up. I think we just take it. I think that's why earlier I was hearing notifications, but it wasn't popping up. Alright, do we want to block? I think the answer is no. Because we have plenty of removal spells that can kill this eventually. And if they play something that kills Shoulder, then Voidwalker can kill the Tarmogoyf. I will gain some life, draw a card. Alright, let's attack for 7, see what they do. Orcish Bowmans. Okay. This isn't going to kill anything. They're just doing this to chump block the Sheoldred. And now I can just hard cast Grief, but I can also scam Grief. I think I'm just going to cast it. We could get 2 cards out of their hand if they had 2 that were relevant, but they only have the 1. Basically just never going to pop this Delta until we absolutely have to. Okay, so we know that their last card's Beseiju, so I think I am going to block Ragavan and then Not Dead after all to get some extra value. Okay. So they don't know about this not dead after all. We'll take 5 down to 9, but we're going to drop to 11. And then we have a big attack coming. And now we can technically... We can Dothly Voidwalker not dead after all to get like Ren and 6 and kill the Bowmaster. Oh my god, are they a Giganta deck? I just realized. I don't think Ren and 6 is good enough, but I guess maybe a Bowmaster would be good enough. Maybe not though. Maybe 3 damage just matters more, but I guess it's not even 3 damage because of that. Alright, let's go not dead after all the Voidwalker. Let's crack it and we'll get the Bowmaster and kill their Bowmaster. So we can punch some damage, and then we'll play the One Ring and draw some cards. They didn't even let me play the ring, chat. Alright, is this a matchup where we want the moon? They had a lot of non-basics, chat. A lot of non-basics. Seems like the only thing the Bowmaster hits is opposing Bowmaster, but maybe that's good enough. The March of Wretched Sorrow... I mean, it's just removal for Ragavan, but... I don't know how much I want anything. I do want to see if Winter Moon's good, though. That's really what matters. We found the good matchup. It's Jund. Jund is the good matchup, chat. Surprised we cycled in response, since if they take Troll, we're happy enough to get another Chevelle that turn and try to hit lands. I mean, if I'm 100% to cycle it, you never give your opponent the option, right? Never give your opponent the option. Because their plan could involve hurting my mana somehow. I think I'm going to mulligan this one. Even though they had the Winter Moon. We'll keep this one. I have one Fatal Push. I'm going to put back the Grief. We're going to play like a grindier long game with One Ring Fatal Pushes to slow him down. Alright, Thoughtseize probably going to take the One Ring. We can Cycle Troll or Fatal Push on one, depending on what they do. And if we want to draw Mortuary. Maybe we should be playing 6, so we can get back the One Ring a bunch. Love these swamps. Yeah, I like them too. Rebecca Guay. Or Guay. I'm not sure how to say it. Another Thoughtseize. Alright, we'll go ahead and cycle, and I'll get Mortuary. And they'll probably take a Fatal Push, but maybe they'll take Flare. Because it's new, and it can kill their Planeswalker. They didn't play a land. Wonder if that was a mistake, or it was unavailable. We don't need the tower, I'll put it back. Inky. So they just kept a heavy discard one lander, probably with Ren and 6, one to draw a fetch land would be my guess. Excuse me. Players try not to play Magic? I mean, they're playing Magic. They're playing Magic all over the place. Alright, it's dead. Alright, we'll go for Takenuma, probably. I could Surveil as well. I guess it depends on if I need to push this turn or not. They finally drew the fetch. It has to be Ren and 6. There's no other explanation. Oh, it's Tarmogoyf. I guess that's an explanation. I will Surveil. Alright, now second Surveil land feels good when it's in the deck and not in your hand. Alright. And now we have Takanuma, which can get back Voidwalker. I guess we could have... Yeah, maybe that was just a punt. Maybe we could have, in the turn, fetch with a Swamp, Takanuma, get back Voidwalker into Voidwalker, push the Goyf. They go for a discardable Bowmaster. Soul Guide Lantern. Alright, let's see what they target. Once they target Voidwalker, we'll go for that, probably. I guess it's just Voidwalker, so we go Voidwalker plus Bowmaster. I don't think Grief is better. It can't... maybe it is better, because it can take removal from them here. But I like being able to double spell. Alright, well, I guess I'll just hardcast Grief anyway. I probably should have just got back Grief. If we're gonna do this, right? If we're choosing Grief over Voidwalker. Shadowspear, Bowmaster, Stone. Stone doesn't matter. Shadowspear doesn't matter. We'll take Bowmaster. Now we'll just pressure Ren over 2 turns. Hopefully it'll die. We'll have Voidwalker, Bowmaster. They'll have a couple useless-ish artifacts. Fable off the top, so great draw. They get to pick up a land as well. And next turn, they get to turn both of their dead artifacts into real boys. Can also crack Lantern to draw a card if they want. We're very light on graveyard stuff, so I don't really care too much. The Not Dead After All is a... I don't know. Medium draw? They can disrupt it a couple ways. See if they crack Lantern EOT. So they're fetching basics too, which is a bummer because they're just playing around Wintermoon. And so I guess maybe Wintermoon's just bad. I thought it would be way better. They kept both of their artifacts. So we can Not Dead and force them. So their hand is Shadowsphere Stone. So that means they're going to play and equip Shadowsphere. And we'll just kill the Wren. Wow, what a draw. I guess playing the Bowmaster is fine. Because the Written 6 is going to die no matter what here. Because the Stone doesn't do anything. The Shadowsphere doesn't do anything. They didn't have anything to get back with Rin either. We can play Bowmasters and trade it for the Goblin. I think that's fine. So we'll get 1 damage on it, and then we'll double block it. Then we'll attack down the Rin, and then it's Not Dead, which is kind of dead in our hand, versus Fable. And they have a couple of things they can cycle. Voidwalker's a pretty great draw, especially because they kind of need to cycle stuff. Oh, I should have played Voidwalker first. That way the Ren got exiled. Small mistake, but it could cost us. But for Tarmogoyf growth and for Voidwalker potential. It's like they're sacking the Lantern. That's great. So now if they play Stone of Eric and don't cycle it, it does stop my Not Dead After All stuff. But they may play it and cycle it immediately, and then Not Dead After All is turned on. So they drew Foothills. Tarmogoyf's to 6/7 now. That's very scary. I can make a copy of it as well. So we need to draw a removal. We have Unholy Heat. We have Creature. Man, maybe I just messed up. It's so big. Unholy Heat doesn't stop it. So we need to draw something. Flare of Cultivation, or Flare of Despair, does it? Whatever it's called. Flare something or another. Alright, well, we're probably dead now. So they can attack for a bunch next turn and gain a bunch of life. Maybe that means I Voidwalker to kill the Reflection. Stone's messing me up bad. I'll take 8. Alright, we gotta draw a removal spell pretty quick here. Wonder if they just pop the stone. Man, 2 Soul Guide Lanterns, a Stone of Eric. Brutal. All for some Not Dead After Alls, huh? By Giganta? Sure. Alright, Fatal Push for the Goyf, please. Children would be fine too. Wondering is great. I got a lot of great draws. Swamp. What about Swamp? Best I got is Swamp. So now I need to draw... This is only game 2. I think I'm up a game. We have to draw... I don't know if I've ever seen an 8/9 Tarmogoyf in a long time. I guess it's not a true 8/9. It's a 7/8, which I have seen before. Because there's no Kindred. There's everything else. We got Enchanties, Artifacts, Planeswalker, Instant Sorcery, Creature Land. Where to? And I got Giganta, which we can chump. I think I just have to draw Wandering into Shieldred as my only roll outs. Alright. Too many lands at the ends. Game 3. Alright, we're going to board back out the Winters. They were just fetching basics anyway. And we're going to bring back in the Thoughtseizes and the March. I don't really like the Deluge. Pick Your Poison, I don't think is good enough. And I don't really care about Disruptor Flute. They have stuff to target with Pick Your Poison, but it doesn't answer the troublesome cards. And most of the things that it would be killing, they can just cycle, draw. Or they've already gained some value, like Fable. Alright, we'll keep. Guess we'll just go Thoughtseize into Dothy. Looking for like Ren and 6 and stuff. Alright, so they have discard, and they have a bunch of artifacts that stink. So we can take Ren, and then let's just see what they Inquisition. So they're going to Inquisition me. There's no reason for me to grief them. If they take Voidwalker, we can play Mortuary, and then we have Fatal Push for Goyf. Oh, they drew Thoughtseize, so they have Inquisition in hand still. Alright, so they take that. And now, if I hope we draw Scam. We didn't draw Scam. Well, Mortuary. We're looking for One Ring. And now they'll Inquisition us before they play either creature, and they'll take Fatal Push. And then I'll just like hard cast Grief on 4, I guess. Just fine. I guess I can go Inquisition into... Okay, they're just letting me kill this, and they know I have the Fatal Push. Interesting. Very interesting. Bowmaster seems like it's going to be the most problematic, rather. And the Inquisition is now bricked. They should have cast that over Thoughtseize. That was very weird. And they play, if they have a land, they can play Soul Guide and Shadow Spear. Okay, so now we're both empty. Maybe they don't want to take 3 damage, and they want to fetch a tap thing. Okay, 4 mana. We got to draw a big 4-drop here. That'd be sweet. Nice. So we wanted exactly what we wanted. This and the One Ring were the draws we wanted. We had 8 of them. And now next turn, another ring is great. If they buy Giganta, we can steal it with the Grief. We're going to cycle Soul Guide, draw a card, take some damage. They're already at 9 from all their fetching and Thought Season. What's up, Cam? Hope you're doing well today, homie. Good thing, Needle. What you going to name? I'll just cast Grief to just have lethal threats. They named the One Ring. Brutal. Maybe we should bring in, what you calls it then. But Shoulder don't give no craps about the One Ring. She keep on churning. All right, they're going to go to 3. And then they're dead to Grief. I don't think they have an out. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. Hope you feel better soon. All right, so we do have Troll. And we have Grief. Let's keep it. I want to see how much Tower messes me up. I also want to see if Tower plus Grief is anything real. So let's go for Swamp Cycle. And then next turn we can Grief, Not Dead After All It, and sack it for mana to Thoughtseize, something like that. Oh, you don't want to pay $1,000 for 4 Nadu or whatever? I don't know how much Nadu is, but I assume it's a lot. Forest. Basic Forest. Nettle Sentinel. A lot of elves coming back, chat. A lot of elves. Alright, so we can go Exile Grief, Pitching, Fatal Push. This is on the stack, and then we will Not Dead After All. So this feels pretty good. Will the Not Dead After All resolve? We'll see what they have in hand. So we might be able to get... we're getting everything anyway. It doesn't matter. And now we sack this for mana. And then we Thoughtseize Fatal Push, and we just get everything. This is brutal, chat. Three lands. Is that good or what? Is that any good? That was mean? Yeah, I know. Alright, we're not going to play the Voidwalker here. We'd have to sack the Grief. I don't think it's worth playing the second Phyrexian Tower, but I think the first one's pretty sweet. War Master, that's a nice one. We know they have a Cavernous Souls. Man, this keeps happening, the old tower. This was a great start, but the tower just messing up the Voidwalker is brutal. I wonder if there's some other 2-drop like Bronco we can play instead. Or maybe we should just be playing Bronco in addition. Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna attack for 4 a bunch. Is this Dryad Arbor, maybe? No, Overgrown Tomb, okay. Alright, so now they're gonna get some blockers. They can do some force bouncing. The Coordinate Ranger's not nearly as good in this format as it is in Legacy, because you can do cool Dryad Arbor tricks. You can do that too, but Dryad Arbor is just so susceptible to removal. Alright, so let's attack for 4 and see what they do. Alright, so they're going to go to 3. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sack this for 2 black. We're going to go Void Walker. And then I'm going to march the War Master, exiling Grief. Alright, now they're 2 facing down Void Walker in a deck without Shadow. And so we punish them for not blocking. But it would have been like a double chump or whatever. It's just tough for them to beat, you know? And now we bring in Deluge. I think Deluge is the only thing we want. And we'll just trim... all the removal's good. I wouldn't mind going like -1 each of Ring, Shield Red, but maybe it's Voidwalker, because we just don't want to cast any other cards. Except maybe Select a Company, maybe. He was expecting them to block. I was too, but I think blocking is still a losing play. They're just in play an elf, make a guy, they both block. Play an elf, make a guy, they both block. But once they went down that low, I was able to get them. We got the turn 1 scam again. We'll keep... Probably pitch Shieldred, hold on to March to kill an elf. Okay, so Grief. I think I still exile the Shieldred. So we're gonna kill the elf, so we just take Priest and Tyvar. And the next time we kill elf, and they're just a little, like, pretty far away from the Cocos. We're in Ranger, okay. So they return a Forest, so they can't return... Let's attack for 4, and then we'll march the elf. The Elvish Mystic, rather. Alright, so 2 Cocos in hand. Alright. I don't really want to Fatal Push the Quarian Ranger. So we're going to Verdant Catacombs and Mortuary, I suppose. My life total is not really in jeopardy. We will be playing the One Ring next turn no matter what. And so if they just play land 4 and pass... We'll maybe Fatal Push the Quarian end of turn. We'll see. Alright, come on, top deck. No land. Oh! I didn't see it. Alright. I punted. I should have killed this, but whatever. They got to float the mana, and now they can main phase the Coco. So I guess we can push whatever it is and then play the ring. Yeah, you're right, 24. I probably should have. But if they... I should have just pushed this on upkeep no matter what. It's been a long time since I played against old Queer and Ranger chap. Shaman of the Pack and Heritage Druid. Alright, so this can threaten a block, so I think we'll just go this tapped, push the Shaman. Shoulder is perfect. And now next turn we can play Shieldred instead of the Ring. And they'll be on really low life total. They do have the ability to do combo-y type stuff next turn, but they're going to be facing down Shieldred Grief and that very low life total. Will Hall, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. Alright, so they're going to do the same thing last turn where they return the Forest to float a mana, and then they play it, and then they can main phase the Coco, even though they only have the 3 lands to start. And now if they hit some elves off of Coco, they can maybe do some Heritage Druid stuff, but they can't draw cards, really, or else Shieldred will kill them. So they have Wirewood Symbiote. They can make 3. 2 cards left in hand. So at this point, I'm hoping they just die to the Shieldred triggers. Because I don't think we'll be able to get in damage very well with either. But I'll probably send with Grief. So replaying the Quarian Ranger, and they can return the Force and untap this. And then they can float 3 and go up to 5, and they can play another Coco or a Cord for 2. Maybe a Cord for 3 with the Wirewood. Shaman of the Pack's not lethal. Another Coco would be tough. Oh man, third Coco is brutal. So 1 card in hand we don't know about. 2 Shamans is not lethal. Shaman plus Leaf Crown Visionary, also not lethal. The One Ring might save us from their Shaman shenanigans for next turn and their potential attacks. So we're just going to hope that they're dead to Shieldred One Ring. Last card's Forest, and they can't draw cards. I'm doing great, man. It's Modern Horizons 3 day. It's been really fun so far. Trying out my mono black Grief deck with some new cards. Most of the new cards got moved to the sideboard, though. Alright, let's go for the One Ring. So we're definitely not attacking with Shieldred, but the Shaman of the Pack can't go to hand and be recast now. Or wait, is it each opponent? Target opponent. Thank God. Thank God it says target opponent. That was what I was worried about. Now, I think the One Ring just kills them now. Unless they have another Coco and they upkeep Coco into Shaman. Should I attack with the Grief to force some blocking? Probably. This also, if they kill the Grief, they go to 2. So they have to, like, double block and then bounce both. So bounce these 2. But they could do that anyway, so it doesn't really change anything. And then the One Ring gives me protection from the Shaman target, which is sick. They go to 2 if it dies. So they can't let it die. Odysseus. Man, I'm just gonna say, go yell somewhere else, dude. I'm sorry. First time chatter, just screaming. No one cares, man. Go yell at a wall. They took a non-rotating format and figured out a way to make your cards rotate. People are very obviously pissed off about it. Yeah, not engaging with it's fine. It's like, but saying that you don't know why is a bit disingenuous. You absolutely know why. I kind of want to just kill this with March. Let's see. I'll pitch Troll because I got lands. Yeah, people with money don't give a shit because they just like puzzles. You're just buying a new puzzle every time a new set comes out. For other people who like bought a deck with their last $300 and said, "I'm going to play this at F&M until I die," now their decks are all horrible and they are probably just never going to be good again. All right, well, we'll go for Bowmaster plus a block. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't. Skywalk, I actually think that this round of free spells is pretty good, man. Flare of Denial is somewhat problematic, but I think it's Nadu that's problematic more than the Flare itself. Alright, if they want to kill the Orc army, that's fine. They're just trading burn spells and keeping their thing in play. They go Boros Charm to Indestructible? Sure. That's a lot of damage I saved with an Orc army, and I get to make another one next turn with Not Dead After All mana up. You have ideas for building and solving Nadu? Nothing that no one else has thought of. I don't have anything new to contribute. Saga, Stoneforge, Nadu, blue-green creatures that draw cards on them. Someone, I think it was Caleb Durward, posted a cool version. It was like a Yawgmoth. Like, I don't know, Sultai Yawgmoth, basically. Alright, this time I'll block with Bowmaster, and if they go for a kill spell on Bowmaster, I'll go for Not Dead. I think I'll just let it happen otherwise. Spike you, sure. Just never casting this Thoughtseize. One card left in hand. Rift Bolt. So we're at 4. We'll cycle Troll. I'm going to get just Swamp in case I draw a 4-drop. I can just play without any damage. I will play 2 Voidwalkers. We don't have much time. Something like a Ring or Shoulder next turn would be nice. Ring that turn would have been excellent because it bricks the Rift Bolt from being able to hit you. They could have killed a creature though, but... Surprised no one's trying Neoform? I mean, that's a great idea, Raygash. Why don't you build it? You could be the first. Goblin Guide. Alright, well, we're going to go to 2. And then I hope they just draw lands. They have a Sunbaked Canyon, though, so it's going to be hard for them to go brick. Top card is a Grief. We can kill the Goblin Guide, but I don't think that's better than just attacking. So we'll just go attack with these. Play Grief. Hope that we get lucky. They have to draw a land or land creature. 2 haste creatures is possible, but they have to both be Goblin Guides. Edge. Unless it's Amped Raptor. Amped Raptor, we can win. Eidolon, we can win. Damn. A lot of burn today. Alright. No sideboard plan. Maybe I should have pitched one more to Wretch. I thought I was going to Thoughtseize, but I guess the way it worked out, it didn't matter. I was going to be dead to that Boros Charm, but maybe I could have played a little bit differently earlier. Oh, maybe you can play one... I don't know what all can go in the Nadu deck, but if you're playing Neoform, you can do some cool stuff. Very Birthing Pod-esque. I guess we'll keep... I'm not in love, but we do have the turn 1 Wretch Pitch with Flare. We got One Ring, which can come down, start drawing cards if we hit some lands. How's Winter Moon been? Bad. I had it in main deck in my first iteration. I cut it for the second iteration. I do think that Burn is just a good deck. I'm surprised it doesn't see as much play anymore, but it's not a very fun deck. The games are just very quick. And when games are quick, often that just means that they're not nearly as fun. Do I get the land? I do get the land. Alright. March you, oh wretched sorrow. Children. Swiss Spirit. Alright, let's see if they kill the Voidwalker. If they do, I get the flare in response. I'll be so sick. Ah, Rift Bolts. More like Rip Bolts, am I right, gamers? We'll take one. Well, if it's losing to Zoo, maybe they should just be playing Naya again for Pick Your Poison. And if that's not, I don't know. That's just a thought. I'll take this Rip Bolt. Bolt to the face. We can fetch Mortuary. Push this thing. Lava Spike, that's fine. I was hoping that they would throw a burn spell to Dothy. Maybe I should have waited for them to finish attacking. White. Sanctifier and Vec. Alright, let's see what the top card is. We can flare this thing away at a moment's notice if we need to, though. Top is non-land. Graveyard. Land one time? Oh, I guess it has protection from red and black, which is really annoying. Because we can't hit them with their own Rift Bolt. Alright, we'll attack for 3 as Shadow, and now we'll see what they do, and if they go for a removal spell on either of my creatures, we can use Flare to kill their thing. Next turn we get to do One Ring shenanigans with Shieldred if they don't kill Shieldred. But they're pretty low on life. Spike. So it's exiled from the Sanctifier. Interesting. They concede. They concede? Why did they concede? They had a pro-black thing to block the Shieldred, and I don't know why they would concede there. Very weird. I got mulligan. It's close, though. I do think it's close. Maybe we keep. I'm going to keep. Timdo, you always just say the most off-putting thing, but I kind of love it. I kind of love it. Rolling Vortex. Alright, well, Guess we'll just be aggressive. I'm gonna put March on bottom. We kind of just want the land for One Ring. We cannot grief without getting Vortex to death, so we got to be very careful. I will probably go for Voidwalker here, just because it's the most pressure. We could hold up Bowmaster Fatal Push to prevent haste creatures from dealing us damage. All right, Lava Spike you. We're entering Lava Spike zone. Skewer you, okay? I will Thought Seize this turn, just because it's likely to take something. We can't even grief them, though, because of the Vortex. I wonder if they go to kill this thing. Path to Exile, okay? Big Boros Charm, I guess. I think we're just going to die to the Vortex. I was hoping that they'd suspend it, and then we could just play the One Ring and brick it. Alright, so we're going to go to 5. I don't think I Delta in case I draw a Swamp naturally. I'll wait until my... Oh, I guess I should have ended turn Bowmastered. That was just a punt. That was just a mistake. Straight up. That's my fault. And now, I guess we play Grief over One Ring. All their instants will brick me anyway. Yeah, they should be at 9. But looks like... Oh! Swiss Beer. Great. First creature they played, we had some Fatal Pushes we kept in our opener. We'll go to 3. Alright, so we'll kill this thing. We'll play Voidwalker, hold up Bowmaster. And now we're just hoping they draw a land. And I think that they're dead if they draw a land. If they draw a sorcery, I'll be sad that I didn't One Ring, but I have to try to kill them. Goblin Guide. Alright, so we'll go for Bowmaster Face. Then we chump block. Then they die on their upkeep. Oh, they died at what's in play too. Great. Perfect. Rolling Vortex. Save me, Rolling Vortex. All right. Keep this opener. Bonus Gigantha. Leyline. Gigantha Leyline working together is maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, we had a build earlier, Bob, that was a little more creature dense, and I'm not sure if that build is better or worse than this one, but this one feels better. In Flare of Malice, I think you do want maybe more like Bloodcast stuff. I want to try it to see if it was good with just the Grief Scam stuff. And I think it's okay in small numbers, but it's just not quite there. Phantom Nishoba. Alright, so I want to march down the Nishoba Brawler while they're tapped out. Wrong one. So let's go march you for 3. And the next one we can Bowmaster. And the turn after we can Shoulder it. The tower is okay, not great. We do have Flare in our deck if they have the big boy, the Scion. Alright, let's see what the top card of our deck is. We might go Bowmaster, try to trade with the Nakano, if they let us. March is probably not worth putting into the graveyard because we have the One Ring going, but I'm assuming that we're going to get hit with like a Stubborn Denial or something if I'm not careful. Or something similar, because they are the Zoo deck. They kept the card on top. Alright, we're going to go for a Bowmaster double block. If it works, great. If they have removal spell, that's also fine. You don't really have great targets for the Bowmaster anyway. And now we can play Shieldred. And then hopefully they tap out next turn and we get to play the One Ring. But they can't summon now the Shieldred here. Is she big? Did you get anything from MH3? You know, I don't know. Defense untapped. What we got? Shoba Brawler. Okay. Alright, let's play Shieldred. Maybe we can draw a discard spell for their last card. We will not trade with Brawler. It's another binding. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and fetch tapped. Next time we'll go for the Ring and hope that Ring draws us out of it. But 2 Shoulder Down's a bummer. We don't need this Thoughtseize anymore. Alright, we'll take 8 down to 8. 1 Ring. Hopefully next turn is enough to get us back in it. But we're under a lot of pressure. Alright, so we're protected for a round. Let's draw a card. Not dead after all. Not very good here. Next time we have a draw step and another draw 2. Looking for another ring. Maybe a Shieldred. Maybe just a Fatal Push for the Nishoba to buy us a turn. Buy Gigantha. Surprised I didn't do that last turn instead of fetching this untapped. Alright, not it. Straw. Flare of Malice for the Brawler. Maybe we should not... this is maybe a mistake. Because they just declare attacks. We should have just main phase this. Alright, so we have to play this now. Otherwise we die. This will hopefully take care of the Brawler. I should have done it main phase though. We're going to go to 4 and then 2. And then we'll draw 3 cards and hopefully find something. Ah, dead to Bolt. GG. Pick your poison. Toxic Deluge. Winter Moon, maybe? Maybe try these 8s. I'm gonna cut Bowmaster. Actually, maybe just Bowmaster Voidwalker go. Leaving the Wretched, we just become full control. Not Dead just works with Grief. I think that's fine. Just full on control deck. But Bowmaster basically kills nothing, and Voidwalker, half the things just don't even work. We'll keep. Sand looks pretty good. I think I will just go Thoughtseize into Moon. So they do have the turn 2 Leyline. Man. So maybe I just leave them with 2s. And then I'll Deluge for 4. Maybe I don't even... I don't know. I think maybe I'm sequencing this game badly. We'll see. Well, we drew a good one. So let's go pick your poison. Each one of Saxon enchantment. Maybe I should have waited for pick your poison. Stern scolding. Well, I'm not taking that one. Asana Draco looks kind of poopy now. And I don't have any targets for Stern Scolding in my deck except Grief. I think they have basic Force in hand, which makes Winter Moon bad. This card's been horrible, man. Every deck operates on 2 or 3 mana. They all fetch at least 1 basic, and so Winter Moon just never does anything. Unfortunate. So they're holding up Stern Scolding. So I need, I think, 1 more mana for Scion. Oh, they drew Brawler. Brutal. So I guess I hope they draw a land. So that they go for the Scion. Alright, we're going to take Mortuary here, just so that we can filter. Alright, we'll bottom this land. Here we go. Now I'm just going to die this in Shoba Brawler with Deluge in hand. Brutal. Alright. I am going to Deluge for 3. I'm dead to, like, Tribal Flames, I guess. But Winter Moon, not very good. Played with it about 7 or 8 matches now. I've yet to see it come close to doing anything relevant. Another one. Another one. I guess I'll get back Troll. Yeah. And I'll just say go. Oh, I guess I should probably cycle and go get a Mortuary and play it. Because I'm at 2, facing down a bunch of junk. Also, maybe think I should have, like, Damnation in the sideboard, maybe, instead of Deluge. Alright, well, guess we drew Troll of Khazad-dûn. We drew a land for Troll of Khazad-dûn, and we can cast it to not be dead. Technically not dead. The best kind of not dead. Need to give this Vigilance and Lifelink. Shadowsphere stats. Shelter off the top. Ah, Sign of Draco. So now I need pick your poison. Pick your poison? All right, well, we went 3-2. Not the greatest record, but we are in the learning stages with these new cards for Modern Horizons. And here's some things I learned about the new cards. Phyrexian Tower, you need a lot more creatures to sacrifice. Flare of Malice, you need a lot more creatures to sacrifice. My starting point was this like weird persist build that had 4 Flare of Malice, and I was hoping that Flare plus Grief and Grief plus Phyrexian Tower would be enough. But it wasn't. And so I think what this means is that we need Blood Gas. We need maybe the Psychic Frogs and Satarus, the build that Aspiring Spike was playing last week. Something like that might be good. But I think Flare of Malice is an excellent card. You just have to have enough bodies to sacrifice. And Blood Gas is obviously a thing that's great to sacrifice. And I believe he was playing Stitcher Supplier also. So maybe all those can coalesce together. I think it would require cutting the Shield Reds and One Rings. And so for this build, I think maybe just cutting the Wretched and Flares for 4 of the new Tendrils of Corruption. Corrupted something or another from Modern Horizons 3. Let's just look it up. Corrupts. So I stopped saying the wrong name. Alright, so Consuming Corruption. So we should probably be playing 4 Consuming Corruptions over Flare and Wretched. And I think that Consuming Corruption and Fatal Push are just enough to get the job done. We should cut a Phyrexian Tower down to just 1. I think 1 is okay. 1 did some super dirty stuff. We can probably get away with going down to 1 Mortuary. I didn't do the Disruptor Flutes at all. I probably should have boarded them in against like Urza Saga and Rin and 6 from the Jund deck, but we never saw the Saga. And the Rin was contained decently by Voidwalker. Not sure. Didn't really get to cast it, so I'm not sure if it's good or not. Toxic Deluge was pretty good when I got to cast it. Obviously, being a sorcery is tough. Playing a bunch of spot removal and then a sweeper is also tough. You have spots where you need to wait before you play your sweeper. With Deluge, that's not always something you can afford to do. I think Deluge does get a lot better when we get in Consuming Corruption into the deck, just because we have more life to work with. Leyline of the Void didn't do anything. Winter Moon didn't do anything. That's honestly the biggest surprise to me, was that Winter Moon was bad. I thought that this card was going to be very, very good. And most of the time, my opponents are just kind of fetching basics to prevent damage to themselves. Decks are built with basics in them already because of Blood Moon and those types of effects. Now, Harbinger of the Tides or Harbinger of the Seas, whatever it's called, also going to be pretty tough, that Blue Moon variant. And so the effects of something like Winter Moon are just dampened because of it. That's it. The deck felt okay. You know, obviously the Ring Shield Red is not new. Playing Troll in the deck for March Grief, I think it's good, but maybe we can replace those with the dual face cards from the new set. There's a 3/1 that can eat the graveyard, and it can be played as a land untapped for 3 life. I thought 3 life was kind of a lot, and I really like cycling Troll to go get Underground Mortuary. So there's a lot to love about playing Troll, but without Persist, maybe it's not worth. Yeah, that's about it. New cards are fun to play with so far, and I really am looking forward to trying out a bunch more. So thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our sponsors. We're sponsored by Apex Gaming, a game store out of Caldwell, Ohio. You can check out their store at apexgaming.gg. I'll be doing commentary alongside Ross Merriam for a double Modern event in July, featuring Modern Horizons 3 as the star. And it should be a lot of fun. I believe that's July 13th weekend. Moxfield.com is another sponsor of ours. Check out Moxfield.com for building and sharing deck lists with your friends. If you're interested in checking out this deck list or any of the deck lists that I post, make sure to check the link description if you're watching this on YouTube. Or you can go to exclamation point deck or deck list in my chat if you're watching this on Twitch. Lastly, thank you so much to Games of Comics Paradise. Games of Comics Paradise is a game store out of Fairfax, Virginia. They specialize in trading card games. You can check out their website, gcparadise.com. And check out all of their singles, packs from Disney's Lorcana to Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. GCParadise.com has you covered. I'm Tandy. I write articles, including sideboard guides, on my Patreon. You can check out patreon.com/Tandy for more information and maybe get you a sideboard guide for RCQ season. I most recently wrote guides on Mono Green Devotion, Mono Red Wizards with Slickshot Show Off, and Rakdos Vampires with Archfiend of the Dross. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for more Modern Horizons 3 action. See ya.